the Okayest Husbands podcast, Christian and Nick Milovich, and today we are joined by two special guests. It's the Bestest wives ever. Nick, you want to introduce your wife?
This is Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
This, sitting next to me, is the gorgeous redhead, the Bestest wife, Emily. Emily, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
All right, so we brought the ladies on mostly because they've been drinking, and so we oftentimes do like to set up what we're drinking. And Nick, you got a little beer over there.
Yeah, I decided to go with a 40 Bud Light tonight.
A 40.
A 40.
Yep, that's
the
a
only
good
thing I'm
looking.
missing is a paper bag.
Yeah.
Which I've got them inside, but
Or your hand duct taped.
I'm not doing Edward 40 hands tonight.
All right, maybe another episode.
It's possible. Maybe when we, Eddie, maybe do one hand when we do the chicken competition.
Okay, all right.
Oh, chicken in one hand,
Ooh, the
Cody
chicken
in the
sandwich competition. That is
Ooh.
coming up.
Oh yeah,
That needs to happen soon.
chicken sandwiches and some 40s. Hell yeah.
Ooh, man. All right, Lauren, what are you guys drinking?
This is some kind of Chardonnay. I have no idea. I got it on the sale rack.
I thought it was Pinot.
No, it's Chardonnay.
Oh,
Pinot's next.
it's wine.
So they're drinking wine. I just cracked one here. It's a golden milk stout with coffee and how's that? Sagan? Sagan
Wait.
cinnamon, and they're calling it Cinnamon Roast Crunch. It's called Naughty Sauce, which is what I also call my wife.
You do not.
You're right, I don't. No, that's what she calls me.
What I put on her
Gross.
is the naughty sauce.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
So gross.
People are going to hear that.
Well, it used to be naughty. Now it's just sauce.
No, it's... I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow. Wow.
There's no sorry about
This
it.
is going. Wow.
Never sorry when that happens.
So we thought we'd start off, since we're the Okayest Husbands, letting people know about how we met our wives. So I want to actually start with you guys. What do you remember about Emily, about meeting me?
Do you want the whole story or?
Well, okay, so just to set up what people need to know about it was we were set up on a blind date because we had two friends that were trying to hook up. Your friend
Did you
had
wear sunglasses?
What's that?
Did you wear sunglasses?
I don't remember.
I think they might have been off that time. One of the rare occasions that the sunglasses are off.
Okay. I don't know what that meant, but we can get there. But so we had friends that were trying to hook up. Your friend had a boyfriend. My friend had nothing. And so they were trying to set us up, and we were supposed to go camping. There was maybe a couple other dates, and none of them ever panned out. And then finally, I think it was a second or third time, we were going to do a double date with them just to take the pressure off of them. And I think your friend was going to tell her boyfriend that she was just going for us. And then I finally said, I'm going to give this a go. And I asked Emily if she wanted to go haunted housing with me and a bunch of stupid guys.
I was there.
So I think we need to back up a little bit.
Okay.
And do a little, history or, so we were both students at University of Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. And I'm a nurse now, but at the time was in the nursing program. And had a friend in the nursing program that was, like you said, trying to get with a friend of yours. And so we were going to go on the double date. So the first time we actually met...
Wait a second. He had friends?
Well, this was a friend that you guys eventually were roommates with. Bill?
I blame you. I blame you, but thank you for throwing Bill under the bus.
There's some stories about that one,
Should we use
too.
real names or should we call him, like, Bob?
Oh, that was made up.
Let's go. Yeah, Bill was the made-up name.
Oh, okay. So we had been, like you said, you had been talking to Bill about me with his friend that he was trying to hook up with. But the actual time we first met was...
Okay, wait. You're going to tell about the time in the nursing lab.
Yes.
I actually met you before that, and you don't remember that. So what happened was I walked in the library because
Wait, because I
Bill-
worked on campus.
Yeah.
That was one of my jobs as a poor college student. I worked at the library at the University of Indianapolis for money.
So she was the librarian.
Not for sex.
Which is why I call her Naughty Sauce, because she was the naughty librarian. Now she's a naughty nurse.
Wow.
So
Fantasy.
yeah. So I walk in and because Bill's like, hey, she's working the front desk now. And I was like, at that time, I thought I was going to be a player.
He thought he was working the front desk.
Yeah. So, and I walk in, I'm like, I'm about to go up there and be like, yo, what's up, girl? I'm Christian. And what I said was, I printed some stuff on number 6, and she walked over to the printer and handed me the stuff from the number 6 printer, and then I walked off with somebody else's shit.
No, you didn't walk. You ran. Ran out of there.
I did not run. I walked, maybe shaking a little.
Smooth move.
Thank you. I'm a player.
So then a few days later, for some reason that year, I think I was a sophomore at the U of I, the university was doing a ton of renovation, and the nursing lab actually happened to be in the basement of the library. And this day we were practicing Foley catheters. And if anybody knows, that is the catheter that goes into the urinary tract and stays there.
The penis.
Yeah. Or the vagina if you're a woman.
Oh, vagina.
I walked in as she was putting a catheter in a male mannequin.
Yep. Legs back, everything. Because, you know.
Wait,
At least it was a mannequin.
Was he sentienting it?
Well, it was a mannequin, Lauren.
Oh.
So, I walk in as the catheter was inserted, and there's this like very tall guy. He just looked huge because he had on like black army fatigues. That's right. Next to his friend Bill, who I guess my friend that was trying to hook up with Bill.
Bill's
knew.
short too, though.
Yeah, Bill's very short.
I was also wearing combat boots.
Yes. And I just was like, oh my gosh, he's just like super tall, super huge. And he was like, hey, I'm Christian. And I was like, hey, I'm Emily. And then that was it.
That's not exactly how it ended. We started to talk just a little bit. And then your nursing instructor walked in and goes, are you a nursing student? If you're not, you need to get out.
Oh, I don't remember that part at all because I think I was just like, whoa.
Instantly smitten.
No. I did have hair back then, but I was probably cutting most of it off. You know, I was way overweight and had a little goatee going that didn't grow in great, right? I don't know what you call this, right? Left and right of lip?
Lower lip?
Bottom lip?
So
Yeah.
you looked like the guy from Toy Story?
Ooh.
No.
The guy that owned the toy store.
No, I wasn't dressed in a
for
chicken
sure you
suit.
look like that.
Okay, maybe I looked a little like that.
Maybe minus the glasses.
I just remember the army fatigues. And he just looked super tall.
Was he trying to
So-
be at 98 degrees?
No. The reason I wore army fatigues is because I was fat and they expanded on the sides.
Wait, you were trying to camouflage?
Right. Perfect. That's right. They were black, which is slimming color. Right?
Sure.
Okay. So
I'm more impressed of all the details you guys remember.
Yeah, well, so that was the first time we actually met. And then I think we talked on the phone a couple times after that. And our first date was just a few days later. And that was what you guys had previously referred to as the haunted house, where we all piled into Nick's, Nissan Sentra?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was 7 people in this tiny
yeah.
little compact car.
7 people
But it
in
was
here.
the best.
There were a lot of skinny people and my brother and I.
Yes. It was the best time ever. Then we went haunted. We went to what, 3? I don't know.
It was a couple.
3 or 4 haunted houses, and it was amazing.
I
So
sure
that
don't
was
remember a whole lot of
and that was
college.
October 30th of 1998.
So what I remember about the haunted houses is the first one we went into, there was a jump scare early on. And she grabbed my arms and pulled them around her, and my hands touched her boobs. And I was smitten immediately.
Wow. Just wow.
I was the driver, so.
I wasn't old enough to go.
You were in middle school.
So,
I was.
funny story after that. We had a great time. Like she said, it was one of the best times, one of the best dates I had ever been on. And then I was like, I'll call you in a couple of days. And I didn't call her, but it was because I had a dental problem where my face filled up with pus.
Yeah, he did.
And I had to go in, and they had to cut my gums open and clean it out and everything. And she thought that was a lie, that I was trying to put off a call back.
But she was a nursing student. You should have just shown her, and she'd have been like, "Cool, I'll squeeze it."
But he didn't. This was remember, this was like way before texting, way before cell phones were a thing. And
I had a pager.
he did have a pager. I would page him occasionally. So yeah, I thought he had totally, like, now the term ghosted. I thought he had totally ghosted me because he was supposed to call, didn't. And then I even went to the communications building and talked to a few of his friends.
Buxton.
And had said, like, hey, where's Christian been lately? And they were like, he had to have emergency surgery. And I just thought it was one of those things that, like, maybe he had called his friends and said, hey, this wasn't good. If she comes around, say this crazy
That's
story.
commitment. That's
So
too much.
Then I called her that night, and then she knew.
Drunk on anesthesia. Called drunk on anesthesia. Does not really remember that call.
I
but,
don't.
But then I believed him. And then I went, I think, the next day to see you or something. And then that was it. So
And his face was fatter than normal when you saw him.
he did have some, like, oral stitches. So I then believed the story that was told.
It was 100% true. So I don't lie. That's one other thing people should know about me. I don't lie about things. Honest to fault sometimes. So, all right. So that's the story of us meeting.
Our story's a lot shorter.
Okay.
Maybe I should let you tell it.
No, go right ahead.
All right.
Do I start with the fact that I was 17 and you were 21, almost 22?
Absolutely, you do.
So I think we should
Wait,
preface
isn't that
that
statutory rape?
Not in
Not in
Indiana.
Indiana.
He
Okay.
checked.
Lauren's the youngest out of all four of us.
Constantly reminded, but yes.
5 years younger than I am.
5 years younger than me.
There's
Nick and I are the same age.
It
Yeah.
makes you 7 years younger than I am?
Yes.
Almost a decade younger?
Yeah.
You're
She's the
3
only
years
one
older
not
than
in her
me.
40s yet.
Is that 8?
Yeah.
No. No, you were born in. Oh, you're right. No, okay. So my birthday is January 1st, 1984. So it's really not.
She's a baby.
It's okay. I still have the gray hairs and stuff. But anyway.
Well, that's the kids, but we'll get there.
Yeah, sure we will. Okay, yeah. So I was 17 in between my junior and senior year of high school when Nick
High
was
school.
Yep, high school. When Nick was going into his second senior year.
Second senior year.
No. That was your first.
I
senior
thought you had
year.
2 sophomore years.
Oh.
No.
Wait,
I
how
counted
old
him
are
all
you?
senior.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, remember our friend Bill that we talked about? He was a junior when I got there. Was a senior with Nick.
I thought he graduated with us.
Maybe.
Did he finish?
Well, I don't know. Jury's still out.
His name is being hidden.
He might have had some brain damage from another story that's going to get told eventually, I'm sure. Could have something to do with being at U of I forever.
I don't know what you're talking about right now, but go ahead and keep on with your 17-year-old and 21-year-old story.
Okay, yeah, because that's a good one. That's a good way to start. I was 17 and he was 21.
Almost 22.
Almost 20. Yeah, you were a month away from 22. And
Not when I met you. When
yes,
we
you
started
were.
Dating.
No,
My
we
birthday
met
was-
in
We
August.
started dating in August. We met in July.
No, we didn't. We met in August.
Okay, maybe our story will be a little bit longer because she
You're
doesn't remember
arguing?
details.
I went to summer camp. That is a total high school thing to say too. I came back from
In the
summer
Blue Ridge
camp
Mountains.
and met you there.
Wait, did you guys meet in 2001?
Yes. Yes.
That's why you couldn't come to our wedding.
Yes, because I'd
Okay.
only known him a month.
Okay.
So I was a lifeguard at the YMCA, and he was apparently front desk manager. I don't know. I never actually saw him.
No. I was a weekend building supervisor.
You were hiding in the closet.
That sounds impressive compared to
No,
front
no,
desk
no, no.
manager.
I was at my apartment
That just meant he ran people out of the building when it closed.
and came and opened the doors and then went home and went to bed.
Okay, so anyway, so I was a lifeguard, and one day I'm sitting in the lifeguard office.
I thought you guys met when you were in teen club.
No, that was my friend.
Oh, okay.
We're
all right.
getting there.
Okay.
We're
all right.
getting there.
Sorry.
Okay, so he came into the office when I was on one of my 15-minute rotation breaks or something like that, and I will say the first thing that caught me about him is, man, he smelled so good.
And he had that 40 taped to his hand.
That too.
Nick does wear some good cologne.
And
Yeah,
I
he
smell
does.
good now, too,
That was-
supposedly. But I cut the grass earlier.
Yeah. So that was the first thing I noticed about him is when he walked in that guard office, lucky.
Oh, lucky
Filled.
you. Wow, I was thinking it was
Oh, my-
awkward as you.
No, it was lucky you. And it filled that teeny tiny little lifeguard office to the brim with the scent of man.
Lucky, if you're still in business, you could sponsor this podcast.
Absolutely, we will both start wearing
Yeah.
Lucky.
So the thing is, though, is he didn't come in to talk to me. He was coming in because he knew a friend of mine. He'd known her for a couple of years. The oldest friend I have.
Was I coming in to talk to? This is
No.
another made-up name, Lindsay.
You were not coming in to talk to Lindsay.
Okay.
You could have been checking up on Lindsay. But no, you were coming to talk to me about a very dear friend of mine who I'm still friends with to today, so we're not going to say any names. But bottom line is you were trying to use me to get to her. So you thought, I'm 21, almost 22. I'm going to try to date this
Bang.
Oh,
sorry.
the 7.
I was trying to fill a void.
Yeah, he had a number to get. 17 was the lucky number.
Bang.
Yeah. So he came in to talk to me about her, and I don't honestly.
So he talked to you to get information about her.
Yes, he was using me to try to get information
shit, I
about.
didn't know that.
Oh, definitely, he was trying to get to her through me, and so he actually came to visit the guard office quite often, under the guise, I think, of talking to me about her. But that was how we met. He was trying to use the innocent little.
Bang your friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottom line, yeah.
So then
Yeah.
when did it convert to not seeking information, but hey girl,
Are
how
we-
you doing?
I don't. For me, it was. I don't know. He smelled amazing when he walked in.
So
Smitten at first sight.
Kind ish.
So,
Smell
I-
at first. Smell at first sight.
I
He has
think when
lots
it
of smells
changed
now.
like that was, I ended up, I used to come in and
Striking
do
out.
Well,
Yes.
for sure.
I told
but-
him it wouldn't work.
But then also there was always these teen nights on the weekends, and this said friend left you there, and I had to take you home.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I don't remember that at all.
Because if I recall, that was the first time I ended up meeting your parents then too. Because you're like, my parents are going to know who brought me home, and I'm like, that's all right. I like parents.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, I'm making it up then,
No,
because I don't remember things.
I felt like you stalked me for a while at the lifeguard station, and because at the YMCA, you know how there was windows above the indoor pool, and he would just be like one of those Garfield cats on the window watching the lifeguards.
So for anybody,
Creepy.
Yes.
so people know, this is the Baxter YMCA in Indianapolis,
Yeah.
Indiana, pre-tornado hitting it.
Yes. Yeah. So occasionally I'd be inside doing the lifeguarding on the indoor pool, and I'd look up and he'd be on the window, all hands pressed, probably junk pressed too, but I probably I was 17 and I'm like, why is this?
I mean, he was drunk
Oh, for sure he was.
at work.
Bottom line is he failed, but it's to our advantage because
So
yeah.
he struck out with her.
He
but
struck out,
while
but
trying
got
to
a
gain
winner.
information, you fell for him.
Yeah, I guess. Ooh, I don't know. I just remember he walked in that office and my God, he smelled so good.
Wow.
I know better now. That's 19.
Really? You want to go there?
19 years later. Yeah. What was it about me that you What made you?
was it, Nick?
What
She
made you?
said she doesn't fart or poop, and
Well-
that was wrong.
Hold on.
No, that isn't what you fell for.
No.
What-
When did your focus shift from the one you couldn't get to the one that you could?
Can't get away.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
It was one of those that when you pretty much told me I had no opportunity, I had to find somebody to fill a void.
So you were just going from A to B.
So where's that awkward?
Plan
Wait. I
A.
was waiting for that
Yes.
awkward silence.
You were Plan B.
Joke's on him. 19 years later,
And 2 kids.
2 kids.
Baby, you were always my Plan A.
Okay.
Oh, I like your love story way better than mine. Nick started out as a pedophile.
Whoa, wow, whoa.
No,
Wow.
we already covered that. It was
Okay.
legal in Indiana.
But
Because you
random
checked, you weirdo.
random fact.
You had to check that first.
Wow.
I had to fill a void.
That makes your stories tiny bit creepy.
Yeah.
Epstein.
We have a 12-year-old daughter now. It should feel creepy to him.
Random fact. Lauren's mom and
Yes.
my mom
Went to high school.
went to high
together.
school together, and we did not find that out. I originally was born in Franklin, Indiana. Same, you were born
I was
in
too. No, I was born in Franklin.
Franklin, Indiana, and that's where my parents met and
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, your mom and my mom went to high school together.
And then we moved to South Bend in 1984, 85, and
Yeah,
that's
I was
where
born.
this is where New Carlisle, so I would consider that hometown. But yeah, random fact, we didn't figure that out until later.
Until
and it's-
after we got married.
And they were like super involved with like 4-H,
4-H.
and like farming, because my mom comes from a farming community. Same thing with your mom.
Yep.
Super weird that how we're like small this world is that.
Well, and I had met Christian a number of times before I even met Nick.
Right, because I was a sports director at the Y.
I knew who you were.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Nick and I figured out afterward that he and I had worked at the YMCA together for a year, probably, but he was never there. Worked in quotes.
I probably was working at the Y when you were participating in swimming at the Y, and
I was a
whatever.
swim instructor. Not
No,
not
before
swim,
that, like you were a kid when I started there
not
because
taking lessons.
you probably were in soccer programs and everything. Like I worked when I first got there. I
For
worked
sure her dad was coaching.
and refereeing. In
Yeah.
1997, I started working at the Y.
7th grade for me. So
There you
no,
go.
I was too old. I was
all right.
definitely in the teen program.
Okay.
Though.
Yep.
I was, and you and I worked together in the after school program too. And Emily lifeguarded there too.
She did.
I did. That was another college job besides the library.
Yeah.
Lifeguarding, and then I worked at St. Francis when I was in nursing school.
It was all the stars aligning.
I just think that's like just super crazy that your mom and my mom were like, they knew each other in high school.
Yeah.
They went to high school together. They knew each other through 4-H. Like, that's super weird to me, especially being we grew up 150 miles away.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that Nick and I grew up in the same house and married girls that were born in the same town.
Same hospital.
While we were going to the same school. Like that's ridiculous. Tiny little world.
A little, yeah.
Tiny little Indiana world.
Yeah.
How far are we separated from Kevin Bacon?
Exactly.
We have a couple more steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
So that's that is kind of interesting to think about how Emily and I's parents knew each other. I worked with you, didn't know you existed, but I had seen you before.
I'd never seen you before.
You would have ignored me
Oh
probably.
my goodness. Are we going to go there?
We can. Let's do it.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay,
But
now.
you talked about Nick meeting your parents, or Nick said he met your parents the first time he took you home.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
So what does Nick remember from that?
Yeah.
Outside of meeting her parents, I don't remember what happened that evening, but it was a quick in and out, introduce myself, and
that had to have been the night then that you took your shoes off and put your feet up on the table.
it's possible.
I still swear today my parents like you more than they like me sometimes.
They do.
All right, tell us more then. So, what do you remember of Nick meeting your parents the first time?
I do remember him. I thought it was when you followed me home one day, and I don't even remember why. But you came in, and all I remember about that night is he took his shoes off and put his feet up on the coffee table. And if you know my mother
Did
at
they
all,
stink?
for sure, your feet.
Oh
smell
yeah, I
bad.
think one of our kids just got in trouble like this Easter for putting their feet on the coffee table at your mom's house.
Oh yeah, that is a big old no.
Yeah.
Big no.
Did I
yeah.
get in trouble?
No, they fucking love you. I don't get it.
Exactly.
No, my parents so they fed him dinner and he was back like a stray dog 3 nights a week until we moved to
That's
South
how he
Bend.
felt for you. Your parents kept feeding him.
My mom filled your belly and filled your soul.
We saw a lot of movies also.
That was later. My parents didn't think it was going to last.
No.
No, because I asked my parents now. I'm like, why did you let me date a 22-year-old man when I was a senior in high school? And she was like, we didn't
He
think it
was
was going to
not a man at 22.
Oh, for sure not.
No, not even at 32.
Okay, more important,
42?
when did you meet Jean? And if for everybody listening, Jean is Nick and Christian's mom, who is a force all on her own.
Are you sure you didn't want to tell that story first?
What story? About Emily meeting my mom?
Emily meeting your mom first.
All right, you did meet her first.
Yeah.
I did.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'll tell the story about meeting your parents after you tell the story about meeting mine.
Okay. Meeting Jean. So
Both of them.
right. So I was told that Christian's dad, George, is quiet, doesn't talk much. His mom is the one that's very extrovert, knows everybody, has lots of friends, which is very much true. But the first time I met Christian's parents, we were at his, like, we had been dating a couple weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks. So our first date was October 30th, and then Christian's birthday is in November. So we had come home to South Bend the end of October, and Christian's mom had thrown together a little bit of a get-together for his birthday. And
That was the 30th.
so we were at his parents' house, and I remember we were sitting together on this very overstuffed chair, and
A lot of stuff happened on that blue chair, by the way.
wow, gross. And Jean had been sitting on the I was sitting on Christian's right, and Jean was sitting on the armrest of the chair on his left. And I just remember after meeting her, she was rubbing his back and said, I know you're dating, but this will always be my baby. And I don't know. I think in my mind I was like, oh my gosh, what am I getting into?
Okay. But now
She likes him better than me.
now as a parent, won't your boys always be your baby?
Yes. But
But nothing. You're bad mouthing my mom for saying that she loved me.
not bad mouthing at all. There was just a creepy little vibe to it. Like, back off, bitch. This is mine. But I love Jean. She is such a good grandma. She's such a good mother-in-law. She would do anything for us if we asked her. And by the way, that night when I was told George would just do nothing and be quiet, so not true. He had a little, I'm sure, whiskey in him and karaoke'd and sang the whole night away and was so loud. And I was like, wow.
He was just coming out of his shell at that point. He had just discovered he would just
Yeah.
become catfish.
After we moved out, that's when they took on to
Yeah.
karaoke.
Yeah.
And when they took on to karaoke, that's when my dad really started to kind of crack that shell.
In your parents' defense, they both have amazing voices and
Yeah, they do.
great at karaoke. They have actually
Yeah.
won contests before. They do amazing.
Did they not do that when you guys were growing up?
No. That started while we were in college. Actually, my dad, my mom would go karaokeing before because I tell people all the time, like, I know every lyric to a Patsy Cline song because my mom listened to Patsy Cline while she would clean the house. Well, she also sang Patsy Cline all the time.
She sounds just like her.
And so what happened was they started coming down, and I was into karaoke. Not as good as my parents, but I was enjoying it. And when they came down to visit, we would go, and my dad just all of a sudden started singing. And then all of a sudden he became Catfish. And Catfish is this whole other character of
He's
George.
a totally different
Well,
person.
I was going to say, when I first met your parents, he was not yet Catfish. That was a few years later, but he was singing.
The reason he took on the name Catfish, though, is they would go out to sing places, and everybody remembered him as Gene's husband. Never remembered his name. But once he started telling everybody that his name was Catfish, it started sticking.
See, by the time I think you and I met, he was like in that transition
Yeah.
to Catfish.
Yeah.
Because he was, the first time I came up here, because I'm originally from Indy anyway, the first time I came up here and spent the weekend at Nick's house or your parents' house and met them, he was like in that transition to Catfish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was on his way for sure.
So, Lauren, what do you remember about meeting Gene and George for the first time?
I don't know if I want to tell this story.
Oh.
Oh, it's totally Jean's story.
It is completely.
Okay, so we had come up here. It was January,
Yeah, because it was right around my birthday.
and it was right after your birthday because you always spent your birthday with your parents.
Well, my birthday is New Year's Eve. They throw a party every year.
No,
Why
it's
would
New
I
Year's
not?
Day.
Oh yeah, New Year's Day.
So
Shut up.
we came up here, and I think that weekend that was the first time I took you up to
Meet your parents.
to meet my parents, and we went to Notre Dame, went to the grotto and everything because it was a year later that I wanted to do something else. But
I don't like cold. We'll talk about that another time.
so we come up here, and we go out for dinner. We went out and got pizza. For the
Bruno's.
people in the South Bend area, the
Blech.
Bruno's Pizza.
I'm from Indy. I don't get it.
That's so good.
No, it's not.
So gross.
It's disgusting.
not.
No, by the time you get it home, it's like a
you gotta
brick
eat
of
it there.
cheese.
It's not brick,
It's a brick of cheese.
but when you eat it there, what happens?
I agree. Bruno's is gross.
It makes
Not
your
my
stomach
favorite.
go.
Bruno's was going to sponsor us. You just ruined it.
Okay, then we like Bruno's.
Sorry, Bruno's. I like your thin crust. Thin crust only. Whoa! He better tip you.
No, I'll save that for Emily.
Bring the bottle of wine in the fridge, please. Says me to our 12-year-old daughter.
I was doing this for Dad when I was 3.
Ah, that's true. Yeah. Did you?
I guess that's what makes me the okayest husband.
Yeah.
Yep.
In
She said,
case
I've
you
been
didn't hear
doing
that.
this for my dad since I was 3.
I have been enforcing the tipping rule though since she was 3, just so you know. So anyway, we get up here and we have Bruno's, and I'm not used to Bruno's. It's definitely a South. That's Boone's. No, there's wine. Clear. I love you anyway, but that's not wine.
Nick, I'll take the Boone's Farms. How much that 40's gone there, Nick?
All of it.
Oh, whoa.
All of it.
Almost.
Okay, so if you're not familiar with Bruno's, it is a big greasy slab of okay pizza.
And I
All
believe
right,
it was just
settle
pepperoni,
down.
so it was cheese and pepperoni. So it's a
a
little,
little
greasy.
greasy.
Okay, and I felt bad because that's where they took me for my birthday dinner. So anyway, we go to yeah. Ooh, both.
Well, okay, so we got coming over a little
What, Emily?
Trader Joe's
Charles
wine
Shaw.
and one of the best meads I've ever had
Ever.
with a baseball bat by Misbehaving Meads
Yep.
out of Valparaiso. Yeah,
Best
awesome.
ever. You open it and it's like sniffing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So I asked Leah to bring me a beer, and she brought me the peanut butter and jelly
theme
brewed
here.
with roasted peanuts, bananas, and Concord grapes.
By
Ooh,
Epicurean.
Wait, can I try that?
Thank you for saying
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
The first bottle of wine she brought out, though, is my Boone's Strawberry Daiquiri.
Are we in high school?
It's okay.
Like
Maybe.
Boone's?
Maybe. Well, we are drinking $3 Chuck.
Dude, it's not Boone's.
Well, and now it's $4 Chuck.
It's the boons of wine.
Yeah, $4 Chuck. Leave it alone.
Wow.
It's organic. Leave us alone. Anyway,
This is a flavored citrus wine.
it's not wine. It's 3.9%. I'd let Leah drink that.
She's a little close to be saying that. Oh my gosh, we won't talk about that. Keep going. with your
Okay, so
story.
anyway, so we eat Bruno's and I eat it, and I honestly I don't like pizza. Pizza is one of my least favorite foods ever, but I was trying to be polite because it's the first time I ever met your parents. So I ate the pizza, and then we go to Blockbuster. Let's see, what year was that? 2002, maybe? Yeah. No, 2002. So we go to Blockbuster, and your parents want to pick out movies, and I swear to God, we're walking up and down every single aisle. It's like shopping now.
Well, that's how my mom shops. It's up and down every aisle, kind
Every
of
single
bopping the head
aisle.
around.
and touches a little bit of everything.
So my dad and I are walking next to each other. Were you just behind us or just in front of us? I think
I hope to God I was in front of you.
I believe in front of us, and so I might have squeaked out a little fart.
Because at that point, we hadn't been farting in front of each other.
Well, at that point, you still told me that you didn't fart or poop. So
Yeah, I know better now.
I have a fart story about you at Walmart in college that we'll get to.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Save that. Save that
Definitely
one.
telling that one. So at this point, though, that rich pizza it's not sitting well. It is not sitting well. I've never had pizza like that, and I don't like it. And it's not doing well. So I'm like, we got to go.
So you don't like it because of first impressions, and those are what make everything.
Yeah, I don't like pizza. I don't like Bruno's pizza. And then it made my stomach feel not so great. So we're walking up and down every single aisle of Blockbuster for whatever reason, trying to figure out a movie to watch together, which you and your dad are going to fall asleep in anyway because you don't watch movies. And I'm like, oh, we got to go. We got to go. So we pick out whatever movie, I don't even know what it was, and we leave Blockbuster for the 5-minute ride it takes us to get to your parents' house. I'm like,
So people from South Bend, that's the Blockbuster at the time is where I think Staples is now.
yeah.
On the south side.
Blockbuster was there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the Staples.
Okay.
I remember Hollywood Video. That was where Fiesta.
That's where, Fiesta Cancun
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
But I don't remember Blockbuster.
No, there was definitely Blockbuster.
Blockbuster was at the opposite end of Martin's.
No.
Yes, it was.
Well, it was at one point when it was a smaller store.
But
Okay.
It was right
All
next
right.
to Menards.
Yeah.
Okay.
When that was there.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it might have been Venture at the time.
Yeah, right? Right.
Okay. So anyway, we had pizza, we rented a movie, and we went home, and that was the first time I met your parents.
Well, no, there's a little more to that story.
Oh, no, girlfriend. No.
Because we get back to the house, and as she said, she had bubbly gut. So,
Did she have hot snakes?
well, probably. I mean, our parents have had cats since we got out of high school. They ended up getting cats. Well,
And Catfish is a crazy cat lady now.
yeah, he is. Well, and that's so we keep, the toilet seats down, everything. I don't think maybe at your parents' house you put the lid down all the time.
We don't have cats.
Down. So she goes to the downstairs bathroom there and does her business. And then a little while later, there was, it ended up being dubbed Shitty Kitty because she didn't put the lid down. And the cat went to jump on the toilet seat to jump onto something else and jump
no.
straight into the toilet water.
Okay, Amber needed to drink water from the faucet because I don't know if you remember this. They
Yes.
always had a trickle
Yes.
of water in
You
their
turned
in their
on the sink
sinks.
for the cats.
Used to. I think they still do.
They might still, but anyway, I remember Amber, like, we're sitting upstairs watching whatever movie it was, and all of a sudden we're like, meow, and we're like, what the hell is that? And George goes downstairs and investigates, and he was like, who
You
left
mean
the
cat lady?
who left the goddamn toilet seat up? And I was like, I'm sorry, my bad,
So
my
the
bad.
cat had shit on her?
No, I double flushed.
No, it had flushed. And
Okay.
Okay.
We just dubbed it Shitty Kitty.
To be fair, if you've never had Bruno's before, your body has a natural reaction to Bruno's that is not natural.
It's not Bruno's. It's grease.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that wasn't even the fun story about the first time I met your parents.
Go ahead. That's typical Jean.
Okay, so if you know my mother-in-law at all, there's like zero shame, zero fucks given, basically.
Very loud extrovert.
Yes. So at the time, it was
I think we talked about that last week.
so it was super popular to have these paraffin wax, like hand dippers or whatever.
Yeah, the foot thing.
Yeah. So well, you're supposed to put your
Hand, feet, whatever.
hand, foot, boob, whatever. You're supposed to put your hands in there. You're supposed to put your feet in there.
I don't think it says boobs.
Yeah, she tried it.
If yours can fit, why not?
So, love my in-laws. Best in-laws ever. My children could not ask for a better set of grandparents in the world.
I'll concur for that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
But the first time you meet somebody, you do not expect to see a wax melt of their nipples. Full on, like, hey, look at that. Like, peel it off, like, shove it in my face. Like, hey, look at this. That set the tone. And God love her. She's so much fun.
So Nick, when did you first see your mother-in-law's nipples?
Still haven't to this
Okay,
day.
good. All right. So you said you met them first, and we heard the foot story. But what do you remember about meeting Roger and Debbie for the first time?
He doesn't.
To be honest, what I said earlier.
Getting away with everything that nobody else was allowed to get away with.
Still do.
That is fucking.
I would
true.
have to agree. I think my parents do like Christian, just like Nick's in-laws.
Oh, my parents fucking love him.
Yeah, Nick's in-laws
My parents
love
love
him more. I think my parents sometimes do.
Well, okay, but I'm nice to them.
I love my parents.
I know, but I'm nice to them,
I love my parents.
and I'm
I
nice
love mine
to 'em.
too.
Yep, and I'm nice to
You
her
know how to
parents.
get along.
I just don't take personally the
Right.
things that she did from years.
Oh. You know how to get along.
Just like your mom, Jean, is a force to be reckoned with, I have Dan.
Yeah.
Dan.
And Emily is Dan from time to time, so it's important.
You know
so
what, though?
there's-
Everybody is.
Yes.
Everybody is.
There's a portion. Like Nick and I talked about this on another episode. Was I told everybody I would never yell at my kids the way my mom yelled at me, and what do? I absolutely yell at my kids every bit as much as my mom did, and I think it's a learned thing.
I think that's a volume thing, a natural volume that you cannot control.
No. She
No,
did
it's a
just
learned
yell.
behavior.
Yeah.
You don't think natural
No, because our grandmother was very loud too.
She was for sure naturally loud. She is for sure. Your son is naturally loud, but he doesn't yell all the time. He whines a lot, but he doesn't yell all the time. She yelled.
And like the other night, I was telling him, it's a couple of weeks ago, how I kind of lost my shit on the kids.
Oh, yeah, because the next day I said, why does your voice sound like that? And you were like, I had a talk.
I lost the shit on the kids, the dogs, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
get
pretty
it.
close to Lauren too.
I get
maybe.
it.
But I mean, I was a jerk, but I didn't lose my shit on her.
You know
but I
what?
was
You're
a
allowed
jerk.
those days. I have those days, too.
And just like when I was growing up, Dan and I would get into some yelling matches. We are experiencing the same thing with our oldest.
Yeah.
I didn't know when to shut my mouth, and that is what we are getting into. But anyways,
So it's your fault?
wow. Back to when you met my parents.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Back to when you met Dan.
'Cause, hold on, I'm going to say real quick, because your mom and my mom grew up together.
Yes. And my mom is the peacekeeper of our house. My mom
Yep.
never really raises her voice. She's the peacekeeper. Dan is Dan.
Dan is very similar to another family member of mine.
So within, the first time I met him, 30, 40 minutes, maybe? You were finishing getting ready as we were going out. We had come back to South Bend, and all of a sudden he was territorial, like we were still in high school, and giving us a curfew. And I'm like, I got no fucking curfew. I'm a grown-ass man.
I'm pretty sure it was the same night that, like the night that I met Jean and George, I'm pretty sure was the same night, the first night that you met Dan and Eileen.
How was that
Except
possible? You were in Indy.
No, we came up for his little party, and he came to get me because we stayed.
Okay.
Yeah, I stayed at my parents' house, and Christian stayed at his parents' house.
So they were strict. Like, they were they're still very religious people, and like they wouldn't even, we moved into our house before we were married, and they wouldn't stay with us. So it wasn't okay for her to come up and stay with me, or me to come up and stay with her. That was not okay.
Hey, do you remember when you stayed with me when I bought my house?
Yeah.
What was that?
Nothing.
Wow.
We
My-
had Cooper there.
Yeah, my dog bit Ernie. But yeah, Cooper.
Oh, see, my parents told Nick if he knocks me up, he marries me.
Well, he married you and didn't knock you up.
See, my parents
Not
were under
sure
the
about
impression that there was no sex happening.
Yeah. So that
What?
gets it. Okay.
What?
Here we,
Was.
What?
here we go. Here we
Who's
go.
her?
Here we go.
Hold
All
on.
right.
Leah,
so,
go away.
Yep.
Leah, bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
12-year-old daughter, get out of
Yep.
here.
Yep. So, first time I meet him, I go to pick up Emily. She's finishing getting ready, and Dan's like, "Come on in." And he literally had his shotgun pulled apart, and
He
he's
did it.
cleaning. Yep. The
Lauren has asked me if I was going to do that, and no.
no. So it will come up with something good though.
Ooh,
But
like the bad boys routine.
yeah, that's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but he has the shotgun pulled apart. He's cleaning the parts and putting it back together.
Nice and slow, too.
But just talking to me about everything, because he was like, "I hear you're an Ohio State fan. How'd you become an Ohio State fan?" I told him that story about my dad buying me a Notre Dame outfit, and I was like, "It's not done." And then we went and got stickers to put on one side of the helmet. And he's like, "Do you like Ohio State?" And I'm like, "Is that who puts stickers on their helmets?" So that's how I became an Ohio State fan, because I just thought the stickers on their helmets were cool. So, and we're just talking, but he's putting the gun together, and he was like, "Just so you know, if you have sex with my daughter before we were married,"
What?
and just kind of stops. And I'm like, "Yes, sir, I understand." And then he gives us the curfew for the night and tells me I need to have her home. I did have her home by the time, because
What
I was
was the curfew?
I was like, it was late.
Yeah, I like midnight.
Midnight.
But you didn't finish the statement. He kept saying,
if you have sex
If-
with my daughter.
basically, I don't know if he used the word sex. I think I remember him saying, "If you touch my daughter, I will blow your balls off.
What if she wants? Did you ask?
I
What
do
if she
not-
wants me to touch her?
I do not remember him saying he'd blow off my balls, but she has insisted that that's what he said, and he might have. I don't think your dad's that direct, though. But they did like me.
Have you met him?
Your mom and dad do like me a lot, and
You-
they did from the beginning.
You and Nick have a way with parents.
Schmoozing.
Yes, you
I've-
and
I've
Nick
often-
both have a way with.
I've often told
Smoothing
people
over.
like kids and animals like me.
Yes.
It's adults I have problems with. But you're right. For some reason, we were able to turn our in-laws into the same thing.
To where they like
As
you better than
kids.
they like us.
Putty. They're putty.
I don't know about putty.
Wait, so
but-
do your parents like us better than they like you? Then is it reciprocated? Probably not.
I don't know. Do you remember, like,
No, they like the kids.
do you remember? He'll always be my baby.
I didn't get that.
That goes deeper. That goes deeper because remember when Emily was pregnant first, how much my mom and her butted heads.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's another
Yeah,
episode.
that might not even be an episode.
That's my mead bee.
So, but anyway, so basically we had those threats, but we had already had sex. I had defiled his daughter already. So
Whoa.
Okay,
Whoa.
Wow.
they did come to visit her one time, and we left a condom on top of the trash.
And purpose?
Nope. But he said nothing, and he did not blow off my balls because I have 3 kids to prove it.
So
Wow.
you think?
Did you stick a needle through that one?
No, that was a little way out. Like, remember, we were married for 5 years before we had a kid, so
Ours was 4 years. We were married
yeah,
for 4
we
years.
did. We were very old-fashioned, other than premarital sex.
And see, everybody asked me because we got married when I was 20 and he was 24 or no, 25, and everybody was like, "Why are you getting married when you're 20? When's the baby
Because she
due?"
wants to be married for a long time to me.
I remember your wedding.
No, you don't,
But I wasn't in it.
liar. You don't remember my wedding.
She might remember the wedding. She doesn't remember the reception.
Right.
Greatest wedding ever.
It was a good reception.
Yeah, the wedding
sure.
sucked. I'm not.
The
gonna-
wedding when we had to spend 2 minutes staring at each other sucked.
Okay, yeah, I will admit our wedding was terrible. The reception, off the charts.
3 of the 4 people here were in the wedding. I was not.
You didn't like me.
That's true.
Ah,
That is
even
a
at our
fact.
wedding, she didn't like me.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
this podcast took a
But you
turn.
were-
To
You
be
were
honest, I don't
different.
think she really liked me, though, either.
Wait, what
That's
do you mean?
possible.
What
I'm
do you
not-
mean? I was.
she doesn't
wait
like
a minute.
me now.
Wait a minute. I was different.
Yeah, you were different.
What
You
do
were
you mean?
younger. You were very young and immature. Like
I
remember,
was
you were-
20.
Yeah.
Was I really 20 at 20?
No, you were 17 at 20.
Oh,
Whoa! Hold up.
Anyway.
I was
No.
drunk at 20.
Wow.
No, I like where this is going.
And 12.
You didn't like me either then.
No, I liked you.
Uh-huh.
I was fine.
You tolerated me.
I'm joking.
You were like we said at the start of this. You were 7, 8 years older, younger than me.
Yeah.
I was indifferent to you.
But now we love you.
But
As long as you made his baby brother
that's
happy.
right. You
That's all he
made
cared
you
about.
made Nick happy, and that's what I cared about.
Do I still make him happy?
I mean,
as he drinks his Boone's Farm.
as much as any wife of how many years?
16
16 years can.
In October.
in October. Okay. And
16 years, 15 and a
15
couple
and
months.
11 months.
Yeah. So as much as somebody 15 years and 11 months can, you do. And that's what. And
I get-
I've learned to like you and love you a great deal.
Wait
So,
a minute. You said you learned to like. Wait.
I didn't know you. Even when you guys were getting married, I didn't know you.
That's true. I know.
You were just a kid marrying my brother, and I
I
was
really
just like,
was
whatever.
a kid. I would never suggest to somebody getting married at 20.
Unless you're in
But it
love
worked.
with that person.
But it worked for me.
we were both young when we got married.
You were 22.
I was 22.
Why did you
Yeah.
hate me? We can talk about that later.
Oh.
No, let's go.
No,
Let's do
no,
this.
no.
So, I think it
This
goes
might be the
back-
longest podcast we've had.
I was like, well, how much time do we have? Well,
no,
we got plenty.
no.
Go.
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
I just think I didn't know you.
Because we're friends
That's
now.
And that's it. Just
We're like BFFs now.
We are.
Yeah, we
You're
are.
my drinking buddy.
For-
And my workout
That's
buddy.
it?
Time.
And my working out buddy. Workout buddy.
you guys go on walks. You
And you're
go
my
to the store
bestie.
together. You go to
Yeah, we are.
Target together. I mean,
Sniff
that says
candles.
everything now,
We
right?
sniff candles.
Oh, we're besties. And you live in my neighborhood.
That's right.
That's true.
We all live in the same hood, and that was just it. You were a lot younger. We didn't know you, and then you'd invite her to be in your wedding, and she was a little upset.
I had known Nick for how long at that? A year and a half?
3 years.
3 years.
and
I didn't know you guys.
okay, so no different, right?
Okay, but you didn't invite me to be in your wedding.
You weren't allowed to come.
Dude.
That's because he had to hook up with the bridesmaid.
Dude. You would.
There was no bridesmaid that I
Just
hooked up
met.
with.
What'd you say?
Lies.
There was one bridesmaid.
Lies.
No,
He
I
did not hook up with Becky.
Wait, what'd you say? July 2001 you met?
August 2001.
Well,
Okay, we got
August
married
is when
September.
August we
Tuesday.
started dating.
September 2001.
I remember talking. He went up to South Bend, and at that point, I was like already totally in love with him. And he called me like the Friday night after your rehearsal dinner, and we talked for hours. While I was
Really?
while I was in my parents' bedroom. He
was
doesn't
drunk.
remember any. I know he was. He doesn't remember any of that, but I do because I was 17 and in love. 17.
I mean, but that's it. That's it. Like, you weren't allowed to come up to our wedding. We only had one attendant each. He was my best man. There was nobody else. And she
And I
had
had
her
my
sister, was her
Yeah.
bridesmaid, Becky. And that was it. And I'm told our reception was pretty good too, but I just felt like it was all just a flash and we were gone.
Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely.
I don't remember it.
Neither does Gene
Or Eric.
or Eric, who I think was 18 at the time. I mean,
Maybe.
I wasn't
Yeah.
legally old enough
I
to drink
know.
at our wedding. I had to have somebody go get me a drink. I was
Yeah.
wearing the dress, and the bartender was like, "Can I see your ID?"
I know. I didn't like you for a few years, but I love you now.
I know, I love you too.
Aww.
It's okay.
Aw.
Should we end there?
No.
No,
But where do we end this portion? People got to know how we met each other,
Our in-laws.
our in-laws,
In-laws.
and how we met. And I love Dan and Eileen. I love my mom and dad.
I love Gene and George.
She keeps saying that.
I do love Gene and George.
I know.
I love Lamp.
Right.
I love Chair.
They're great. They were great grandparents. Like they
No, they're
would
not. They're
do-
only grandparents.
they would do everything for our kids.
I stabbed somebody with a trident.
I love Toaster.
I saw that.
Oh no, there's a chocolate squirrel in the toaster.
So, but I think you're right. I think this is a good place to kind of wrap this up, and then we can pick it up from there and talk about the first few years of our marriage and how we all became who we are now.
And our kids are dying
Yes.
to be on the podcast.
So, Nick, we're not only the okayest husbands, we're also the okayest fathers.
I don't know about okayest.
Uh-oh. So
no,
what?
I think you're pretty great. I think that you guys bring something to the table that the moms don't bring to the table.
Good cop.
For sure.
Yeah, we talked about that on another podcast as well. And
Oh.
I'm not sure which one you'll hear first. I think maybe this one first, so the next podcast you'll hear how we definitely agree. Like, I told him about buying shirts yesterday and how that was uncalled for, but Carly needed a shirt that
No,
said
you guys
Shroot
are
Farms.
definitely good cop.
It was the week before payday, and the mortgage is due.
I
I'm
don't
telling
know.
you. Nope, they're good cops.
But she needed a Shroot's Farms.
$8 a shirt.
Right.
Dude,
They're good cop.
unnecessary purchases.
Not okayest dads. Best dads. Best buds.
Does not need to be in the budget.
Well, it may or may not needed to be in the budget, but I love you. I love you guys.
Hey, what he spent on those 2 shirts is what I spent on my 4 bottles of Boone's and my 40 today.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
it's all perspective then.
It
It's all
is.
perspective.
It is. And I love you, babe.
I love you too.
I love you guys.
I love you guys too.
Whatever.
Wow.
And I think that is a great place for you all to meet our wives. There's going to be a lot more. We have a game coming up that we're going to call the
I
Oldly
cannot
Weds game,
wait.
where Nick and I have been researching some questions. They want to see them ahead of time. We'll see if we get around to that.
No,
but
I want you to
that's
surprise
coming up
us.
here soon. That and the chicken sandwiches.
Eh.
The chicken sandwich competition.
Why are
Kinda-
you so excited for the chicken sandwich?
I like chicken sandwiches.
Yep, they're good.
We're going to have Chick-fil-A. We're going to have
Should
Popeyes.
should we throw in the red bag from Aldi?
For sure.
Our own.
I make a pretty mean Chick-fil-A style sandwich with those.
Okay. All right.
Chick-fil home sandwich.
Oh.
Home filet.
Milo Chico Milovich.
That was
Aldi
a swing and a
filet.
miss.
Aldi filet.
Milovich?
All right.
I don't know.
Chick-fil-Aldi's.
All right. So you all know a little bit more about why we are the okayest husbands today, because we spend too much money on alcohol and we love our kids and buy things for them when we're not supposed to on mortgage coming up days.
Hold on, that's not it, but we'll talk
See.
about that another time.
All right, another time. All right. I love you guys. We'll talk to y'all later on the Okayest Husbands podcast. Bye.